So can you assign your own meanings to the tarot cards? Now, this is an interesting question and one that kind of has a bunch of different variables. So I wanted to bring it up and talk with you guys about it today. Now, as you know, the tarot deck is comprised of 78 cards and they have different assigned meanings, upright and reversed or upside down. And we use these meanings as well as our own intuitive abilities to give us information about the cards. Now, what happens if you want to assign a specific meaning to a card? Can you do that, and why would you do that, and when you do that? So here's what I want to say about that. I think that you can absolutely assign meanings to tarot cards, yes. Do I think you should reassign meanings to the entire deck of tarot cards for every single deck? No, not unless you want to maybe create your own deck. So if that's something you're interested in, then yes, I would say go ahead and reorganize the whole thing. But if you're working with a deck that already has pre-assigned meanings, I would not reorder all of them. So when would it be appropriate to reassign a card meaning? There are a couple different situations this might pop up. So perhaps someone wants to ask a specific question about something. You could assign meanings to the cards in a way that, like, okay, the wands are going to be a yes, the cups are going to be a no, the swords are going to be a maybe, and the pentacles will be a yes. You really could assign any specific meaning that you want. Another reason that I would say assign meanings to cards is what I have noticed over time, and you will probably notice too in your practice. You will probably have main area of focus or expertise, or where all the people ask a lot of questions to you about a specific subject, right? A lot of people, for me, I can do any subject, no problem. But what I tend to get is I get a lot of relationship questions. Women trying to understand relationships, trying to figure out what the heck's going on, trying to understand themselves better within the relationship. So that's an area where I do a bulk of tarot reading on. So if I had a specific question within that, perhaps I would choose to assign a certain tarot card. Maybe I would assign certain cards the notation of players, right? Or cheaters, or really faithful, honest people, or somebody who is non-committal or committal. You know, there might be different meanings that I would assign to different cards based on the fact that I do a lot of readings in that area, because what you'll notice is people will ask sort of similar questions, and the question that they want answered specifically, that energy, especially because the tarot cards are old and we're a little bit newer and more modern, there might be weird specific situations that come up. Like maybe you want to assign a tarot card for ghosting. Maybe that might be something that you want to put in there because that's a new term. The tarot cards did not know what ghosting was, but maybe that's something specific you want to add to a particular card. So there's two different options that you have here. You can assign a card on a permanent basis. You can say like, hey, this card is going to be ghosting from now on and forever. And that doesn't mean that the card doesn't also carry its original meanings, but it means that it's another meaning that you can assign to that card. And how will you tell the difference? Well, that's going to be up to you as a reader to determine. What I have found is, one, the type of question that's asked and how it pops up and where it pops up in the spread and the reading will tell you. And also to your intuition will tell you. I've done this personally on different cards. I have a card in my deck that's the player card. And so that will come up. But when I look at that card, my intuition will just tell me right away, like, oh, that's what it is. It's sort of the same way that your intuition and the cards around the one that you're looking at will tell you what it is when it's a regular meaning, not one that you've assigned. So that's an easy way to tell there. So another reason you can do it permanently like that, and that's always going to be an option for that definition, or you can assign a one-time meaning for either a session that you're going to have with somebody, maybe somebody, a client that you have has particular problems or issues or things that constantly come up. So when you read the cards for her, you have a talk with your deck and you're like, all right, so-and-so's coming in for a reading today. We're gonna give you guys a little bit of different instruction. This card is going to represent this for her. This card's going to represent that. And then when we're done with this reading in this session, we're going to go back to our normal stuff, right? So you can do things like that too. You can even do it for one particular spread. It doesn't have to be a whole reading. So it's adjustable depending on what you want to do. The last and final thing that I'll say about assigning meanings to the tarot cards is that you have to remember that the cards work for you. You don't work for them. So you are allowed to give them a little bit of instruction if necessary. to help them along, to help them give you the reading that you need. It's okay to talk to them and instruct them and let them know what you want to do, because they do want to help you and help you get your client or yourself the best and most helpful and insightful answer for your personal growth, your personal, well-being, and all that other good stuff. So I hope that that was helpful and giving you some insight. Maybe this is something that you want to try. If you try and test it out, let me know. Or if you've got some experience with this too, I would love if you wanted to share. But until next time, thank you guys so much for watching and have an absolutely beautiful day.